Hey guys, welcome back to Mantalk.ke. Thank you for coming back and thank you for all the love on social media. We read every comment and you've been really enjoying the last episodes. So today we are in a different location, but we have a special guest that we're going to talk about, I think, a variety of topics. We're going to touch on how we met. We're going to touch on what he does and we're going to give you some value while we're doing that. So strap in. And, do you want to give him the intro?
Yes, please.
Should I give a drum roll?
You know, this is my favorite part, like where I lean into the microphone and talk to you deeply in my sonorous voice as I introduce Anto Neosoul.
Wait, you know the drum roll goes before.
The name. Yeah, what happened?
Yeah, listen, no, guys, I feel like we're even too used to each other
Yeah.
this way. Anto Neosoul is a musician.
Mm-hmm.
He is a journalist. He is a songwriter. He is a hit maker. He's a host. He's a MC. And let me tell you, boys and girls, girls and boys, this man is a ladies' man. He's the smoothest man I've ever met. Yeah, following his hit song, Chips Funga. He's living to the message. So, man, welcome to Man Talk, Antonio, man. It's big having you here, Antonio. You're
Thank
mad
you so much
vibes.
for having me, man. I'm the presence of greatness.
Hey.
It's finally happening, yo.
Hey.
So let me when we say everyone, like, you guys have fans. Like, ladies who meet these guys, like, oh my God, you're the man from Kenya.
Hey.
I was like, I'm their producer. I know them.
So, in case you're wondering where that story came from, we met Anto 2 weeks ago,
Yeah.
on a trip in SA. And then after the vibes we caught, we said we have to bring you on here.
Yeah.
And you can give us, as much as knowledge, just some good stories. Wow, give a little quick recap.
Yeah.
And then just vibe.
Yeah, just vibe.
That's
Like,
basically
just
the
vibe.
idea.
Yeah.
A light episode.
Yeah, like the thing I really liked most about Anto was like from the jump, like his energy like remained consistent.
I don't know how you did
Like from the moment we arrived at Oatambo.
Oatambo, yeah.
Yeah, the moment we arrived at Oatambo, and then like there were two women arguing at the two women.
Two ladies.
Yeah. I don't know. Just tell the story, man. Like,
So
you know.
what happened? So we were queuing. We were supposed to get our visa stamped.
Yeah.
And then I'm next, so I walk up to my place. I obviously it's had to be nice in immigration. But your brain is like, don't be too nice. They'll think you're carrying something. So
Yeah.
I was like, let me chill. So lady next to me, she's getting her visa stamped, and the lady asks her, "What are you coming to do here?" The lady's like, "See, it's a conference." The first thing so immediately I was like, I have to get my stamp quickly so I can follow the lady.
Yeah.
So I follow. I'm like, "Excuse me, are you Kenyan?" She's like, "Hey." I'm like, "That's C.
C,
That
it's a
C. It was
conference.
just the one for me."
Yeah.
Before I realize, I look like I have a mama's, because I'm busy working with some lady who you guys don't know.
Yeah.
And then I have to explain myself. Oh, that lady, I was following her because I was like, yeah, Amantla.
Yeah.
Viva.
Yeah.
Don't let people carry you the way they want to carry you.
Yeah.
I think by this time, you guys are like, yo, this guy here.
Yeah, this guy's energy. Yeah, because you came up to me and told me that story, and I was like, that's so strange.
Yeah.
Because like the women at the airport were like Zulu women, and it's so crazy because this is the first African country I've been to outside of Kenya, and like it was like I feel like the same energy. You know that thing where they're just talking about something, then some woman is here telling them, and where are you going?
And where are you going?
And where are you
Like,
going?
why are you trying to spoil my
spoil my
vibes?
vibes?
Yeah.
And then Anto is like, I'm ready. I'm here for
Yeah.
all the drama.
Man.
But obviously I was with the Kenyan. But I didn't want to be too obvious.
Yeah.
Before I'm asked, where are you going?
Where are you going? Yeah.
But I mean, I don't know. It's just a Kenyan thing because the lady had like gray hair. So naturally for us, you just respect someone like that. You don't go.
Too
You're not all up
much.
in their face. But then it's immigration. I understand. But the Kenyan lady was not having it.
Yeah.
And he was like, yeah, even me, I'm with you.
Yeah, but it was so
Yeah.
crazy, like just being in an African country that's, I feel like light years, like I feel like 10 years ahead of us, you know?
Those
That's
guys were.
that's what it felt like.
I honestly, I think people talk about it a lot, but South Africans are way ahead of us with a lot of things. I think the biggest for me is order. They're very orderly.
Yeah.
Yeah, because when we were coming back, I mean, one of the things we liked was the fact that they don't do the body check before you check into your plane. It just doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
First, give out your bags and everything, and then get checked.
Yeah.
It actually helps you to save time. While here in Kenya, you get checked 19 times before
You even board the plane.
board the plane. By the time you board the plane, you can't board the plane because you've been left.
Late, yeah.
So there's certain things that are quite orderly. Things like traffic lights. They call them robots.
Robots.
Yeah.
People follow that stuff to the latter. And then there are no borders.
Wait. No, so remember when we were on the tour, the guy was saying that these are suggestions, that the traffic lights are suggestions. But even with that, they still follow it, even though it's not like
he said in Soweto.
Oh, specifically Soweto.
Because that's like what's what I like telling you, the borough. So
the borough.
So it's just
Man said borough.
Yeah, so you
like a loan.
but anywhere else, guys are, because when we were late, when we were coming back when we were coming back to Nairobi, we're like, why can't this guy jump the lights?
Yeah.
He's not. He won't do it.
Yeah, no chance.
And me, I'm like, why?
No chance.
He will not do it. So, I mean, there's a certain level of order you see. And you see in a lot of things. You see it in commerce. You see it in the creative industry. You see it in the mining industry. That's the reason why Johannesburg is Johannesburg. Because of mining. So, there's a lot of things that you sort of sense and feel that order in a lot of places that you go to, that you sort of people here take for granted. People just vibes and inshallah here.
Yeah. But like, did you, especially now, like talking about like what we experienced thanks to Spotify and like the event and anything, because you are like at the forefront a lot and meeting a lot of people in your industry, which is media and music. Did you experience a conversation or a person that like made you like shift your mindset towards like what the possibilities are for like media in Africa? Were there any conversations you had with people that you felt like were super valuable?
Yeah, I met a couple of people there's a lady from Ziki Media that I met. And I mean, it was quite, just from them seeing our interactions and how much fun we're having. I saw people there who want to meet you after. They want to have conversations with you and talk about what value can we get in our media company based on what you do in Nairobi from TV and radio. So those two ladies that I met, one is called Pal, the one is called Ria. And we had a really lengthy conversation around South African music industry and sort of them trying to plug themselves in the piano industry that is obviously clearly quite big, but wanting to perform in East Africa, and how we can make those two sort of regions work hand in hand. And even small things like, how can we break barriers for you in South Africa? So that's one of the things that you realize with them, is that they're very keen on what value can we bring into your industry and what value, and they want to know you. So for me, the conversation is not even necessarily around the Kenyan media industry, but it's around what is it about you. We just want to know you first. And then because I remember us having a conversation, we spoke for so long at this place called Tasha's. And then I, like, being a Kenyan, I was like, I want to know, why do they want to meet me? So,
right, yeah.
Why do they? And then they're like, yeah, we just wanted to know you. We want to know you first. And then we can know. And by the time they're like, oh, so we want to work with you on a project and we want to see if we can work with some essay artists. And from a media perspective, we want to work with you in terms of PR in Kenya. So it's a thing that I realize I'm quite big on, which is getting to know people first and then understanding what value do they bring for you. While I feel here, it's always like, who do you know first? Not what value do they bring to you first. It's I know Eli, I'll give him the job to be in charge of our media, head of our media at Semabox. Not necessarily because they have the experience, just because I know them. While there, it's, do you have experience? And then you did what? And and they meet by the time, and they've Googled you, but they just want to hear it from your mouth, from the horse's mouth. So I found that quite interesting. And then they're very big on information. The thing about the media industry here in Kenya is that we are media industry. A lot of people in the media industry or people in the communications industry don't even know how to communicate. So you find small things like, kindly refer to the email that I sent you 99 days ago. Because people just are not good with communication here. Whether it's from a following up sort of thing, whether it's just from a approach sort of thing, or even it's from a presentation point of view, people just are not good at doing it. Well, they are quite big on it. Like, they take it very seriously. So they give out information. They will tell you, oh, like the guy you saw me posting called Leo. He's a 25-year-old guy who runs a media company. And he was busy trying to introduce me to Kulichana. By the time I met Kulichana, he was so shocked that I interviewed Kulichana in 2015. He wants to keep that, sort of conversation going constantly. Who can you meet? I want to introduce you to this guy. I want you to, there's this lady that I'm working with. There's a lady called Guguletu, who's a podcaster. She's in Nairobi. When she comes back, how can you guys meet? So a lot of that opening doors and giving information without necessarily wanting to know who you are, where you schooled, Even the lady that I think you guys saw me posting, I met her at the Johannesburg Country Club. I don't want to go into specifics about what her husband does, but she is a filmmaker from Kenya who's there. And she was very clear that, there's small things like artist visa. I didn't know you could get an artist visa in SA. So they're big on information and passing along information. And I think for me that makes you feel like the hard work and the things you've gone through, the hurdles you've gone through in Kenya can clearly pay off. If I was in SA, I would be way farther than I am here.
With that in mind, we always say like exposure to new cultures, new people is one of the most valuable things you can do.
Yeah.
So having gone there, and some people in Kenya are like, okay, so you've seen all of that. What can we do in our industry? What can we implement, like based on the lessons you learned there, to help us maybe get to the level that Johannesburg is, that SA is in general? Because like you said, in terms of the industry, they're much further ahead. So what's like a tangible lesson that you think people should be able to take from your trip?
I think diversity and inclusivity is quite key there. I mean, the idea that people can exist in isms. People can exist in very different, scenarios. You could be a soul singer and sort of have your cake. You could be a rapper and have your cake. And it's a thing that we sort of struggle with here in Kenya. We're very big on trends and one thing being the thing at the moment, but we sort of forget other niche sort of artists and ideas and people that are actually out there, so that they're quite big on whoever and whatever you bring on the table, we will identify and we'll work with it and we'll put it out there. Look at the performances of the night, for example, from Kamo Mphela to Nasty C,
AK, my wife.
to Daban Gogo.
Kamo,
Mphela, your wife.
Your wife.
Kamo, yeah.
Kamo Mphela, your wife.
Yeah.
You guys go Google Kamo Mphela. Kamo Mphela. You'll understand why
or famously,
they're fighting.
It was mad.
There's not about
Can't forget. So that people can exist, having differences in ideas, differences in identities, differences in just the way that they present themselves. So that really makes you sort of understand that, people can actually exist. And I think it's a thing here. People are quite big on a trend. Everybody should go with the trend, and then everybody else should be pushed at the back. So I think that's a huge issue that we have here. But people should just be able to exist, period. Whether you like bongo, you like hip hop, you like rap, you like all that.
Yeah.
The idea that of what's Kenyan enough, that shouldn't be the conversation. You're already born here, so that's enough. What should be important is what you bring on the table, not are you part of the new thing that everybody wants to be a part of?
Yeah.
And if you're not, we don't want to be part of you.
Yeah.
If you're not talking the newest language, if you're not looking like everybody else in the room, well, you're not trendy enough for now. That shouldn't be the thing.
That's such a deep
Being
thing.
yourself should be trendy.
Yeah. That's such a deep thing. Because I met Les and I'm big on hip hop.
Yeah.
And I've been listening to South African hip hop for a while. The AKAs, the Dales, like these guys like really push the envelope towards the 2010s when it comes to like hip hop in Africa.
Yeah.
And like when I met Dales, it was like, bro, like you have pink hair and you're wearing a Kurt Cobain shirt. Like what? Like it was so crazy to me that in Africa, one of the problems that we are having, especially like I've noticed in the hip hop industry, is we're trying so much to be like super localized that we constrain our artists to like express themselves in the way that they understand. Like,
exactly. Yeah.
If you listen to like there's a song, it actually exists, like with Kamo Mphela and Dales, and they like fuse hip hop and amapiano, and Dales does it in his way,
exactly
the way that I grew up like listening to it, and I'm listening to Kamo's new amapiano sound, and like you see, they came up with this new song. It's called Elon Musk. It's like this new nice sound that I really heard. I was like, wow. I mean, that's just a fusion of cultures.
Yeah.
It really showed like, what Africa can be if we are more understanding and more inclusive.
Yeah.
And I was very like touched. Obviously, Nasty C is another big hip hop icon. The guy is 23, but his demeanor is over like 35. Like calm, icy. Even his bars are very like New York.
Mature,
like he sounds
international.
He sounds very.
And that's the thing you realize with South Africans, whether it's from the fashion perspective, whether it's the event that we went to, is that they sort of put themselves like, listen, we don't have to go to New York for this launch.
Yeah.
We can bring New York here, but our people are good enough for New York.
Exactly.
That's what you feel about them. Like, is well, for Kenya, it's the other way around. It's like, you're not good enough even for here. So how would you even go to New York? You're constantly being reminded how, no, you're not enough. Okay. Well, for them, it's you're so enough to a point where the way they carry themselves, even young people, I mean, when you see them dancing in the streets, when you go to the club, when you see waiters, did you guys see waiters dancing when they were serving us?
Yeah.
They are constantly reminded, imagine you're good.
You're okay.
You don't have to feel like at TCG, you're a waiter.
Yeah.
There's no
of dignity.
limits.
Yeah.
There's a lot of dignity. There's a lot of dignity in their Africanness, in like
Exactly.
their blackness.
Yeah.
And you know, the funny thing is, they fought. I feel like I can say this. South Africa probably fought hardest
Than most people in Africa.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah,
For sure.
than most countries in Africa for their independence. They got theirs in 1984. The end of apartheid.
Yeah.
While the rest of us have literally been experiencing our freedom as Africans, they have more reason to celebrate it. Even when it was just so insane to me. Even the person we were on this panel with, her name was Zoe. Zoe is actually, she says she's an upcoming artist. This girl was singing the opening scene of Savage Africa. Like I watched Savage Beauty on online, and like when I watched that Savage Beauty episode, I was like, wait, this chick, we were on the panel together and she's singing that. The production qualities in the sky. These guys, the humility, the way South Africans carry themselves, it was just something else. It
was interesting how they've been made to believe and they really do carry that there's no one better than us.
Yeah.
And it's not on your face like, what are you doing here?
Yeah.
No, it's more of like, I know I'm the best.
I am that guy.
Me, I'm dope. I don't know what you're telling me, but me, I'm dope. And you can see that they carry themselves, the way they behave, the way they talk, the way their swagger, everything. And you can imagine young kids growing up seeing that constantly.
It's the only thing you're going to turn into, right?
Exactly. So we keep beating our kids because when our kids are brought up, they are constantly being reminded, no, you're too loud. No, don't do that. We don't do that here. Nah, that's not Kenyan enough. So, well, they're like, just be you, do your thing. It's even funny. A friend of mine, she's called Fatu, she's a makeup artist. One of the things she tells me that she loves about South African women is how, even from an image perspective, that South African women most of them are, they're quite big, they're quite boisterous, and they're quite voluptuous, and they revel. They love it. So she was very, like, she kept saying, I wish I was in SA.
It's okay.
Where?
She kept saying,
turn off this camera.
she kept saying, I wish I was in SA. And I'm like, why? Because they are big women, don't have to feel like you have to be smaller to be appreciated. You could actually be big and show off your arms and feel good. You know those ladies, African ladies, the ones who make jahe, or, with the, with that part.
It's going to taste good.
Yeah, when you see them in a wedding, you just know, the food is lit. That food is, the mokimo is on, jahe is on. There, it's everyone. And that tells you something, that if a lady would see that in other women, and she feels that her body image is calmed because everybody there feels comfortable, that tells you something about the people.
It wasn't even something that was up for debate.
Exactly. People don't feel like, I need to be body shamed or whatever. They're quite okay in it. So there's a level of South Africanness that is quite different in them. To be honest, it comes with a lot of, there's things I don't want to say here, but also comes with a level of arrogance that most people, if you don't get it, you'd be quite offended. But then, we roll with the punches.
Yeah.
Turn on the freestyle.
I just wanted to go back to something you said, because I think it's something you said probably in passing, but it really like shows the policy of the South African government and how much like they've probably empowered their artists, and that's the artist visa. Would you talk a little bit about that? Like,
so I was told, so there's an artist visa. I mean, when we were speaking with my friend and we're looking at specific ways about how I could probably, immerse myself more in the South African music industry, or sort of the industry at large. So they have an artist visa that you could apply as a foreigner, and you could actually get the artist visa that allows you to fly in and fly out and be able to access things like funds or grants that are available for foreigners, or probably, sort of take up a master's that would allow you to have 20 hours of work. That would mean that you could actually be able to perform or work in a film company or in an arts company and be able to thrive. So they've created they've incubated an opportunity for foreigners and for artists away from South Africa who can be immersed in the music industry to be able to grow. And I don't see that here. And the reason why they have that is because they have the structures that are available. They have the funding. They have, it's not all glitz and glamour, but the opportunities are there for them. But the thing is, most people don't even know about this.
Exactly.
Most people don't know you could actually apply for a visa to do that. Most people don't know you could apply for a master's and be able to get full scholarship and still be allowed to work as an artist in South Africa. So those opportunities are there for people. They just don't know. And like I said, the thing I realize with them is that they give information.
Yeah.
They constantly just throw it on your face like, hey, you could do this. You could come back. Next time apply for this visa. I could probably help you to get a grant from this uni or this scholarship from this uni. So those opportunities are there. We just don't know about them.
Yeah. We'll put a link in the description.
Exactly.
Like we'll look for at least some information on that. Because I think that's really important, especially for young guys who are trying to make it as artists or creatives Africa-wide. That's something I think that would be of value. So let's try and just share that information.
Share that information.
I wanna analyze what we've just said so far, by the way. So I want to give context to people watching. If you don't know, you don't follow us on socials, we're in South Africa because Spotify invited us and some other creators to celebrate African voices, right? So thank you, Spotify, for that. Now, what I want to say about our experience is something that somebody challenged us on our Instagram live. Because in passing, you reference, this was mentioned in a country club. Like, there's a context we need to offer people. And then I want to give a question to you both, actually, if you think our experience is isolated. So, because of the way we went to South Africa, because of the kind of people we were going with, we found that a lot of the rooms we're in, we were kind of already validated before entering.
Yeah.
So maybe I'm thinking, as we're telling these stories, that our experience might have been slightly unique just based on the circle that we arrived with. Now, I want to ask a question about the lady, your friend that's been in South Africa, to give context to other people, because not everyone's going to go there with a company that's going to help them out.
Yeah.
She was saying how networking and information is very free, etc. Was she saying that that's like across the board? Or was she saying when she got to a certain level, she started being offered this information?
I think for me, the way it came off like culturally, people here are quite sort of open to share with people who are from different cultures. I mean, we have the huge issue with immigration and the huge conversation around, and it's interesting because when I was leaving the country club, she was telling me about this show called Gomorrah. And she was telling me I want you to ask the driver to show you Alexandria and show you Santon. Because there's a certain freeway, there's a certain highway you pass, and you're literally right smack in the middle of the have-nots and the haves. And it's quite clear. And we definitely have issues that I feel that are not just that are universal, but are not homogeneous to South Africa. The same issues that we have all over Africa when we deal with immigrants and immigration, when we deal with, there's a huge issue with xenophobia as far as South Africa is concerned. But also, when it comes to our level, and to be honest, you can't just wake up and leave and go to SA like with a bag and be like, I want to go to SA, and the same opportunities Anto told me that I actually find them. But there's also a common denominator here. And the common denominator here is that if you put in the work, then to be honest, these opportunities do end up opening up. And the only reason why the rooms that we were in, that these opportunities were opening up is because we have done the work.
Facts.
So there's also that. There's the idea of, but you're Anto, but I just didn't become Anto. We just didn't go to Mantalk. We're just not Mantalk. We've put in the work. People don't know about the dimming lights, the lack of sound, the lost footage, the arguments behind the scenes. Those things are not documented. What is only documented is the trips and the opportunities and the rooms and the rubbing shoulders with the who's who. But what about the moments that led us to that moment? So there's all these things that happen to lead us there. So even when people open doors and when they give us information and when they provide opportunities, it's because even they know that it's taken you so long for you to be worthy of that opportunity. So I think at the back of your mind also, as you also say, but Anto, but Oscar, but Eli, but also look at the journey and say, well, it makes sense that now those doors have been opened. Because sometimes it takes 3 days, sometimes it takes 3 years, sometimes it takes 14 years. And we're even having a conversation with Blinky, with Patricia, and we're talking about, how sometimes it feels like imposter syndrome, and you're like, should I even be in this room? Am I even allowed? And you're there, and someone feels like you're worthy to be there. By the time you get on the plane, you still feel like,
that's actually so accurate, because I had that conversation with Patricia. because I was telling Patricia, and I remember this was the day I've met Patricia Kioro twice. For those who don't know, Patricia Kioro is the coolest.
And if you don't Patricia Kioro, yeah, now you.
You like, the coolest. She's the coolest. Like one of the, if not the coolest. Honestly, she's the coolest.
Yeah.
Her personality doesn't change in every situation I've found her in. Like she's always like on this cloud of. Like just a cloud of, I don't know what it is. It's like she's in this
it's very pure.
Yeah, it's just a cloud of like, I'm me and I'm enjoying this. Like, first time I met her was an event we went for a dinner, and we were sitting and having a conversation. And I told Patricia my excitement because I just shot Bold Box with BN, the Bold Box series with BN. And I was like, oh my God, I got to meet BN and I had to act all cool. But then like BN's music is what I literally grew up listening to. I used to hold at the edge of a matatu in South Sea, listening to Sauti Sol booming in the car. And like I have to act all cool. And she's like, but you deserve it, relax, calm down. But that's like, you deserve it. Next time we meet, I'm at the SA Visa Application Center. I have a passport that is, we'll talk about it. I have a passport that's like, dead. It's been in water in Kilifi and stuff. And like, she's like, oh, don't worry, you'll figure it out. Like, she's always been this calming presence. And when we were on the plane, I was like, I honestly can't believe I'm here. When I touched down in SA, I told her, like, I can't believe that Mantalk and what me and Eli have done, you know, like, I had an idea like 2-3 years ago. It's like, we're actually here in Johannesburg. And she was like, but you deserve it.
And that's the thing. Like, a lot of times we beat ourselves up. And those are valid conversations. They are valid. And I think, and like the angle that you bring, sort of the devil's advocate, that, but is this information shared with everyone? Maybe it's a place thing. But it's also, and I think people have to always remember, it's a timing thing. Timing.
Success isn't faithful.
It's not and that's the thing, though. Even our presence and our experience there, that was, yes, we were there for an event, but our presence there was not an event.
I hear you.
You know, we were there for an event, but our presence there was not an event. It was a journey. It was we were moving to somewhere else. It was just the beginning. I mean, now when you think about it, there was the anxiety to get there. Oh my God. We're done. It's over. Now, if we're looking at probably the next trip is in Cape Town or in New York or in Malawi or in Zambia or in Lagos or Abuja or Dar es Salaam. That's the thing. But when you see me move the way that I move, you must understand that if maybe you haven't noticed, there's people who have seen the hard work, they've seen me put in the work. So that's something we can never forget, and we cannot take away from people who are constantly putting in the work. That work has to be there. And there are people who actually see you putting the work. And when they see you, they feel like, maybe now he deserves. He deserves to know. He deserves to know how these things, because sometimes you go to rooms where you are never meant to be in those rooms.
I agree.
You are never meant to be in those rooms, but you are now worthy of the information and the power that comes with being in those rooms. And I feel absolutely zilch and I unapologetic about being in those rooms.
That's perfect, because the next part of this is going to be about your journey. But before we do that, I want us to have one thing that you think South Africa can learn from Kenya as well to balance the scale.
Wow. Guys always have like the deep person.
Yeah, you got
like,
balance.
Jeez.
I'm a Libra. I learned this is my thing.
Oh my God.
You're a what now?
I'm a Scorpio.
I'm an empath.
Wow. What is the
I'm
one
an
thing?
empath.
I know that South Africans have been through a lot. But I think one of the things that I genuinely see with Kenyans is our resilience. I mean, I feel like Kenyans, for us even to be noticed by them, we have to go through so many hurdles for us to be even noticed or to be even seen or heard by certain people, including by them. So I really feel that if they could see how difficult it is to be a creative, to be a Kenyan, to survive in our economy, to sort of make it, to deal with tribalism and our politics and all those things, we are a very difficultly molded people. And our resilience really would, I mean, from everything they've gone through, and also the fact that we are very accommodating. I hope that South Africans would be more of that, and I know they have the Rainbow Nation. They have a sort of a very difficult history that they have to deal with, but sort of be resilient with a smile.
There you go.
Yeah.
Mine, I think unfortunately, I'm Kenyan. but unfortunately, this is something I feel is a problem Africa-wide and not just a South African issue. I think it's also a Kenyan issue. But I think it's time for us to consider a more integrated experience as Africans. Because I think there's a lot of value in the Nigerian in the room, because we also met, I said what I said, Jola.
Jola, hey.
Jola.
Jola, my Jollof, Jola. I love Jola. She's just amazing.
It's Jollof, Jola.
My Jollof, Jola.
So like the Nigerian perspective that we had, and Kenyan experience that we also came with, and the South African experience that we had with the South Africans in their country. When that event came together, it was such a beautiful celebration of our culture and of who we are as Africans. And I think it's a shame that we have to wait for Africa Day, to have like that kind of experience. Because I honestly think South Africa can be the place where Africa as a continent comes to commute. And you do know that the Southern African people is a lot of where we as Africans come from. Like the Bantu people were Southern African immigrants. So I just felt that we need to think about working together more to grow the African media economy and the African economy in other sectors as well, legal and otherwise, and to see how we can collaborate and do work together. That's what I hope.
And probably adopt Swahili as their main language.
I hear they need to think about that.
Because already we can't Kenya them, and they can't gossip us.
They can't.
They're at 12 languages. Add another one.
Add another one, like 13. Number 13 might be the one.
Zulu is like half Swahili most of the time. Hakuna, they say Haguna. Haguna. Yako is Yako.
Nyama.
Nyama is Nyama. I mean, Wena is Wewe. Mina is Mimi. It's just across the... Matumbo is Matumbo tribe.
We tribe. Like we need to... I feel like that integration needs
let's
to
break
happen.
those borders. I wish we could break those borders.
Yeah, because they were drawn by the white man. Let's not lie. Otto von Bismarck drew it in the scramble. In the scramble for Africa.
Getting triggered.
Okay.
Don't remind me. But South Africans have gone through...
Don't even.
Where... Upper Side and that Hector Peterson Museum, I will never forget. The most traumatic, emotional I have ever been in SA.
Same. I had
Do you guys realize when we went to Mandela House, we were not even moved now. We were like...
we've seen everything.
We were like, guys, this is too much.
Did you see the picture of the Chevy with the white...
blue,
with the Boer policeman?
And then on the back.
And the back.
Goes assassinating like kids coming from a shop.
Buying a liter of milk.
Like, that 1976, June 16th protest, I will never forget it. No social media, no room, and with apartheid. And these kids found a way to all come together and protest against being taught Afrikaans in school. That was phenomenal.
It was the thing that really like got me was like there was this placard where a kid is standing saying, I may be a child, but I am an African child. I was like, I saw that, I was like...
Using dustbin covers as a shield from
what it means to be an
bullets.
African child. Like, like even till today, the question still remains, like, what does it mean to be an African child? Big question. Because for them, it meant like a more liberated, more powerful future. And these people are still alive, by the way. They're probably in the public. They're members of the public
thing
in South
about
Africa.
it, thinking these guys like, 50s? 50 years old. So I encourage everyone to just Google Hector Pearson and just read about it, because that hit all of us hard. Like I left and I felt hot in the eyes. It was like,
the Soweto
gut wrenching.
Quite crazy.
It was difficult. I haven't been able to get it out of my... It's quite difficult.
So Anto, now changing gear.
Please.
That was SA. So thank you, Spotify.
Speaking of changing gears, hold up.
No.
Sorry,
I'm scared of this.
But did you guys realize that 90% of cars in SA are manual?
You're worried where it's gonna take
whoa.
I knew.
What happens in South Africa? Stays in South Africa.
There's just things. Guys, there's just things that I realized there that are quite unique to us. 99% of cars there are manual, while our cars are automatic.
I didn't realize.
Though they drive on the though they drive on the left side like we do right hand drive. It was quite. It was quite.
I didn't notice that.
I remember asking because there's an Uber came for me and I was like,
oh yeah, we did see that.
I was like, what?
I did see that.
Yeah, what model? Which year is this? He's like 2015. I'm like, and it's a manual. He's like, here, 90% of the cars are manual
because they save fuel.
It's efficient.
Very observant.
Well, here everyone is automatic.
So I wanna. So that was our SA trip. So yes, Spotify, thank you so much. Like we had the time of our life.
Mitch
made
and
a new
Liz.
friend. There we go. Shout out to them.
Shout out to Mitch Atagana.
By the way, happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday,
Last week.
belated
'Cause when this goes
Mitch.
out.
Yeah. When this drops, we're actually recording it.
We showed you on your birthday, but
Yeah.
life.
Yeah.
And it's a chemical in your brain that causes all these problems. And it's again, it's an issue of childhood, the traumas that we go through, our expectations, and all these things that we have. And honestly, and also being a man, that for men, you do not talk about these things. You don't come here and and start telling us the way I'm feeling. Men are not meant to feel. So why are you feeling? Why are you being problematic with your feelings? Why are you telling us? Why are you worried? Why are you run it out? Football it out, drink it out, man it up.